SCA Minhag of the Week, Life Cycles. The Berit Milah ceremony, part 3. So, part 1 we talked about the Pesukim that the father says. Part 2 we talked about the Berachot of the Milah as said by the Abie and the Mohel. And now we're up to part 3. After the circumcision is finished, we are ready to start with other Berachot. These Berachot are namely Hagefen, Besamim, Shekdesh Yedid, and the naming of the child. In Halab, as well as in most other places in the Middle East, generally it would be the Hacham present, if it's the chief rabbi present or the greatest rabbi in the room, he would be the one making all the berachot as a general rule. Not that they would never share berachot, but that was generally the way things were. Nowadays, as we know, the custom in our community is each one of the berachot are given to a different rabbi, a different hacham to say. So the rabbi would start with beracha. He would say Sevri Mananan, everybody answered Lahayim, and he would say Beracha Borefri Hagefen. Our custom is that he does not yet drink of the wine at that point, though. The Hacham or the Hazan, whoever is making the Beracha, like I said, though, traditionally was the Hacham, he would wait until all the Berachot and the naming of the child was completed before actually tasting from that cup. So, Hagefen, next beracha is Besamim, and now we have the beracha, special beracha for the Milah. And there are a couple of textual differences than what we see in certain Sidurim, as well as between our community and other communities. So this beracha, Baruch Atah Adonai Elokeinu Melech HaOlam, Asher Kadesh Yedid Midbeten, V'Chok B'She'ero Sam, וסעיו חתם באות ברית קודש. על כן, בשכר זו, אל חי חלקנו סורנו סווה. Our minhag, as we say, saveh, as opposed to the minhag of other communities, mainly Moroccans and other North Africans that say siva. Our custom, and that of all the Jews of the Middle East, Syria, Lebanon, Egypt, Eretz Israel, is saveh. Saveh lehasil yedidut she'erenu mishahat. Now, most of the Sidurim today say yedidut zera kodesh she'erenu mishahat. But we see in the book Machshirei Milah of Hacham Eliyahu Shama' from Halab that he uses the terminology yedidut she'erenu mishahat. And this seems to have been the minhag, or the original minhag in Halab. This was also the minhag in Cairo. This was also the minhag in Yerushalayim. Most Sidurim today say Yedidut Zera Kodesh. They add those two words, Zera Kodesh, which have no source in our Gemara, and it's preferable to omit those words and to adhere to the original minhag of just saying Yedidut She'erenu Mishahat. Lema'an Berito Asher Sam B'Bsarenu Baruch Atah Adonai Koret HaBerit. Then we move on to the naming of the child. The naming of the child ceremony is very simple. You would think, just read the words, fill in the blank. So what blank are you filling in? Right? It says, Elokeinu v'Elokei Avotenu kayem et hadeh zeh le'aviv u'limo v'yikareh shemo b'Yisrael. Many of the old books, and this seems to have been at the Minhag in Halab, they just name the child. If his name is Yosef, it's Yosef. His name is Abraham, it's Abraham. In other words, they don't say son of so-and-so. Whereas today, books generally will tell you, say, so-and-so, the son of so-and-so. Let's say, so Yosef ben Eliyahu. No, according to the Minhag, it's just Yosef. Okay, and you would continue. Let's say it's Yosef. يسمح האיש ביוסף על עשיו ותאכל האישה בפרי בטנה כאמור ישמח אביך ואמך ותאכל יולדתך ונאמר ועבור עלייך ואראך מתבוססת בדמייך. Va'omar lach b'damai chayi, va'omar lach b'damai chayi. At that point, when we say va'omar lach b'damai chayi, the mohel will generally dip his fingers or a piece of gauze to keep it cleaner into that cup of wine that the hacham is holding, and give a taste of that wine on the gauze to the baby. And then the person doing the naming continues, and then they get later on within this text, right? And then they say the name of the child. So again, Yosef, only without the name of a father. Zeh, and then everybody responds, Elohim yegaddelehu. And that is our response. And that is the response of most Sephardim, Elohim yegaddelehu, as opposed to Ashkenazim and some other Sephardim who say Gadol Yiyeh. Our minhag in the text is Elohim yegaddelehu. And then we continue and complete it. Keshem shenichnas leberit kach yikanes letorah ולמצוות ולחופה ולמעשים טובים וכן יהי רצון ונאמר אמן. And at that point it is over, and that's when the wine is drunk by the person who said Berakat HaGefen. Okay, if it's one person who made all the berachot, he drinks at that point. If others said, then the original person who made the Berakat of HaGefen, he drinks, and if he wants, he can give out to other people to drink after that, but nobody is obligated to drink other than him. He said Berakat HaGefen. At that point, Kaddish is said and the Milah is over.